Welcome to another episode of the Bug Bite, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph. In today's episode, we are in for a doozy today. We are going to talk about the Hunter Biden laptop and his lawsuit against Rudy Giuliani and his lawyer. But before we get into that, if you are new to the channel and you find this information informative, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live, as well as checking out the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon, because there is tons of information being dropped in there on a regular basis, and it gives you the opportunity to interact with me. Let me know if you need anything, if you need any particular topics covered, if you have any questions, so you get a much faster response time than any other way. All right. But let's get into this story, right? So, this is not a political story. We are going to analyze this from a cybersecurity software testing point of view, perspective. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. So, this article says Biden's son, Joe Biden, our current sitting president, Hunter sues Rudy Giuliani, and his lawyer over alleged data breach. So, let's get into our article. It says US President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, has sued Rudy Giuliani and Giuliani's former lawyer, Robert Costello, accusing the pair of violating Hunter Biden's privacy over allegedly taken from his laptop, court documents filed on Tuesday showed. Right. So, real quick, if I remember correctly, when this story broke, it was that this laptop was left at a computer repair shop and was never claimed, never paid for. And from I don't know the details of the contract of this repair shop, but what my understanding typically is, if something is left at a place unclaimed, unpaid for, it becomes the property of the place, and that company or whatever, they get to do whatever it is what they want with it, right? So that is that's going to be an interesting play in court, right? To try to say that this was illegally accessed if it no longer belongs to you, right? So the question is, where does your digital privacy end? And when do you give up your digital privacy? Because if you left this that if this was important to you and you left it someplace and you never claimed it, right? I don't even know why you'd I don't know, whatever. But if you left it a place and now you never claimed it, you never paid for it, what responsibility does that place have to you, right? The other part is that maybe they're flooding these people with lawsuits to, hurt them financially, because even if you don't lose a particular lawsuit based on the terms of the lawsuit, you still have to pay your lawyers and stuff like that, especially as a defendant. You still have to pay your lawyers and all that type of stuff, right? So that's going to be interesting. The other thing I get from this lawsuit is that before, when there was when this story kind of broke, there was the denial of this laptop in question belonging to Hunter Biden. But now it seems that by accepting that, but by saying that, oh, your privacy was violated, you are claiming that this laptop actually does belong to you. So that's another interesting take. Right? I haven't been following this story too closely because I honestly don't care about it that much. But I did see that I saw that this lawsuit popped up, and that does take us into a testing point of view, a cybersecurity point of view, vulnerabilities, different types of hacking and stuff like that, right? So let's keep going. Biden, in a lawsuit filed in federal court in Los Angeles, accused Giuliani, who has served as a personal lawyer for former President Donald Trump, and Costello, of being responsible for the total annihilation of his digital privacy. So another thing that's interesting, right? If I recall correctly, this laptop was retrieved from a computer repair shop in Delaware, I believe. Um, but this lawsuit is being filed in a federal court in Los Angeles, California, which I don't know. It seems like it's an additional play on, it seems like a play on the court system, right? And but it's totally interesting to see what's going on here. But a laptop found in Delaware, and the lawsuit is being filed in a federal court in Los Angeles. So, all right, let's keep going. And the other thing is like the total annihilation of digital privacy. It kind of reminds me if you leave your door, like if you leave your door is wide open and everything like that, and you know, um, people come in and they take your stuff, like you're not really protecting yourself, you know. But let's keep going. So it says Hunter Biden, that is 53, previously sued a former White House aide who served under Trump and the U.S. Internal Revenue Service. Republicans have focused. All right, so that's not important. Republicans have focused on Hunter Biden as President Joe Biden, a Democrat, seeks re-election next year. All right, so let's keep going. The legal action was filed as Hunter Biden prepares to plead not guilty to federal gun charges next week after an earlier plea deal with the prosecutor fell apart. Um, his trial in Delaware is the first ever prosecution of a sitting U.S. president's child as and comes as Joe Biden could again face President Donald Trump, who faces 4 upcoming criminal cases of his own in 2024. So that is interesting. That this is. I wonder if there has ever been a. I wonder if there's ever been a trial of. Let's see. Um, let's see. So that is interesting because this article is saying that it's interesting that they point out that um, this is the first ever prosecution of a sitting U.S. president's child, and comes as Joe Biden could again face Trump, who faces 4 upcoming criminal cases of his own. But they don't point out that this is the first time that a former U.S. president has ever been indicted for whatever things are being alleged of, right? So that's interesting, right? Okay, so okay, this part's not that important. All right, so let's go. Costello declined to immediately comment on the lawsuit. Ted Goodman, a Giuliani advisor, rejected Biden's allegations, saying in a statement, "I'm not surprised he's now falsely claiming his laptop hard drive was manipulated." I mean, I guess it depends what manipulation is, right? Because and it depends, like, was the laptop password protected, and would you consider logging into, like, finding out the password of the laptop? So technically, you're hacking into the laptop, right? Even if it's like it now becomes yours, because let's say the laptop was never claimed, right? And now the owner of the repair shop sells you the laptop. By you hacking into like the laptop, like, are you hacking into the laptop by figuring out the password, and then going through the data? That's a good question. However, are you able to hack into your own laptop, right? Because if it becomes his possession, is he hacking into his own laptop? I don't know. That is a good question. All right, so let's keep going. The president's son accused the pair of claiming to obtain data taken or stolen from his devices or storage platforms, including a laptop, but noted that Giuliani and Costello in public statements cited an external drive. So here's another question, right? Here's another question. If so let's say they have this laptop, right? And they log into the laptop, but you're also logged into like you're already logged into your Gmail on the laptop, you're logged into your Dropbox, you're logged into whatever, right? And now the people who have this laptop, they can access all this stuff. Are they hacking into your Gmail and your Dropbox and all that stuff? Or because that it's connected to your computer, that they automatically gain access to that, right? So that's another thing to consider. Like, I don't know the details about their laptop and all of that, but I just wonder, what does that mean? All right. So let's keep going. Um, Although the precise timing and manner by which defendants obtain plaintiff's data remains unknown to plaintiff, there is no dispute that defendants have, at least to some extent, accessed, tampered with, manipulated, altered, copied, and damaged plaintiff's data, and that their actions are illegal, unauthorized, and without plaintiff's consent. So it goes right back to what I'm saying, right? So we know that they copied the data. We're pretty sure they tampered with it, right? Because copied, like, because in order to send the images or whatever they took from the laptop to news organizations and, whoever got it, um, they had to copy it, right? But, and you definitely know they accessed it, right? Even if it's just on the laptop alone. But the question is, was their actions illegal, unauthorized, and did they actually need the plaintiff's consent? That is what we want to know. Because if the laptop in question still legally belonged to the plaintiff, Hunter Biden, then there is a case that it was illegal, it was unauthorized, and it was without the plaintiff's consent. However, if it is true that the laptop in question was pretty much forfeited to the computer repair shop, right? Then the computer repair shop technically owns it and has the right to do whatever it is that they want with it, right? So they could have sold it to whoever. Anything could happen, right? And now whatever happens with that data, right? Whatever happens to that data is their data, right? And they can do whatever they want with it. So that is my perspective on, based on prior information and this lawsuit saying that it was illegal, unauthorized, and without the plaintiff's consent. Now, if they actually found a way to hack into their to the plaintiff's Gmail or their Dropbox or whatever it is that is, then there is a case for that being illegal and unauthorized, right? But if it was data obtained from the laptop, that seems to be on shaky grounds, right? But I am definitely not a lawyer by any means, but I'm just analyzing it from the things I've learned when doing like these cybersecurity courses and stuff like that, right? Um, what's what's like what gives, all right? So let's keep going a little bit. Hunter Biden is seeking punitive damages and disgorgement of all money Giuliani and Casello may have obtained from their activities, as well as the restoration of any data they still possess that belongs to him, the filing says. And again, does that data actually belong to him? That is the question, right? And to me, that's what the case will lie on. And that's probably the argument that Giuliani is going to make is, does the data actually belong to him if it was abandoned, right? So the filing adds that the filing mounts to Giuliani's mounting legal issues. Costello and his law firm earlier this month separately sued Giuliani. Okay, um, that doesn't matter to what we're talking about. So that's it, right? That is the article, right, about the president's son, Hunter Biden, suing Rudy Giuliani and his lawyer over this laptop in question. All right. So let me know what you think, right? Do you think this case stands a chance? Do you think it was a cybersecurity breach? Do you think that the data was accessed legally, right? Did the plaintiff, Hunter Biden, forfeit his rights to the data on the laptop? Or, although he may have forfeited the laptop, does the data still belong to him, right? Regardless of how you feel, if it was right to release it, if it was wrong, whatever, whatever like side of the political aisle you fall on, that doesn't matter. This is a cybersecurity issue. This is a hacking issue. This is a legal issue, right? And here's the thing, right? it might be that there is no chance that this lawsuit is successful. However, a strategy is tying people up into legal issues so that because that costs a lot of money, right? Having to fight a lawsuit amongst your other legal issues, it costs money because you're gonna need a lawyer and all that type of stuff. And um, that's not like if he's already being if Rudy Giuliani is already being sued for not paying his lawyers, right? He's probably having some type of financial issue. And, this might be a tactic to continue to bleed him dry. So, yeah, I am totally curious. Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear from you. And we can continue the discussion even more. Leave me a comment, whatever the case may be. But that is it for today's episode of The Bug Bite, where we spoke about Hunter Biden, President Joe Biden's son, suing Rudy Giuliani and his former lawyer for quote unquote hacking into his laptop. All right. So that's that. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live. Like the video, share the video, all that good stuff. But until next time, my friends, this is Tech Coach Ralph signing off.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.